Well, well, well. Here we are back again for some Goat Locker racing here in the Goat Locker Right Now Roofing Xfinity Series. Boy, I am glad to be back. It's been a while, but Daytona, everybody's piling in. We're getting ready, getting all the fans in the stands. Everybody's piling in, and we're ready for an amazing race here at the World Center of Racing. I'm Eddie Smith. Thank y'all for joining us, man. Glad to be back. Been a while since I've been on the mic, and man, what a great way to start it off in Daytona in the Xfinity Series. Want to thank our sponsors here, Right Now Roofing, the title sponsor for this series. Want to thank their support and coming on board this season. The Xfinity Series is going to be wild. Want to thank Jam Printing and Promotions, is always a big supporter of Goat Locker Racing. And if you got a hat, got a Goat Locker hat, you probably have some of their merchandise. So want to thank them as well, along with Veterans for Life Foundation. And boy, do we have a fantastic season for y'all this year. It's going to be an incredible one. And this whole week is kicking us off, and this race is going to be that kickoff race for this week. We've got Xfinity tonight. You've got Next Gen tomorrow night. You've got the ARCA car on Thursday, and then Goat Locker Trucks, the Premier Series, on Friday night. And boy, I cannot wait to get this thing rolling. Goat Locker, if you're not sure what it is, if you're new to the whole Goat Locker idea, well, heck, it's just it's an old Navy term where the top level guys go to get away from the plebs, as you might say, the guys that they're trying to get away from. And Goat Locker's where they go. It's used to be where they used to keep goats in the middle of the ship. And I'm butchering this, I'm gonna be honest with you, but it's pretty much what it is, and that's what they call it, the Goat Locker, and that's what this is. I mean, this is Pat and Jamie's show. They do this to get away from folks, and it's been awesome to be a part of in this season. I cannot wait. Got about 3 minutes left in qualifying, but let's take a look at your schedule this season. It's going to be a lot of fun. Daytona tonight, and then you got Vegas, Nashville, Dover. I mean, all really, really good tracks for this car. The Xfinity car, just one of the better ones on the circuit. Doesn't get the love that I think the trucks and the Next Gen get, but boy, they sound great. They sound mean. They put on a good show, and here at Daytona, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch these guys. We head on to Vegas, Nashville. Those are going to be tough 1.5 milers. Going to really separate the men from the boys, and yeah, you're going to have to be on top of your toes. This schedule is pretty incredible. We're going to go to Dover, which is one of my personal favorites, then to Pocono, which will be a blast. That'll be a fun race to watch. A tricky triangle. It's got so much separation. It's almost like a road course that is split up into 3 corners. So going to be a good one. We hit Richmond, which is always a good show. Atlanta, which I would imagine would be the new Atlanta, the super speedway version, which will put on a pretty good show, along with New Hampshire right after that. So a really cool schedule. Watkins Glen, Charlotte, and you see as we get round into the playoffs, you got Bristol, Michigan in the round of 12. Round 8 is going to be Kansas and Phoenix. What a round that's going to be. And then, man, look at that championship 4 in May at Iowa. Dang good way to end it, I think. That's going to be just so much fun to watch, and you're going to find it all here on V-Speed Racing Network. Glad to be with y'all tonight. Well, what are we talking about tonight, though? We're talking about Daytona, and we're talking about the Xfinity car. Daytona, you know it, you love it. 2.5 miles, just a super speedway, legendary track, one of the oldest on the circuit, and it's going to put on some great action, as there's going to be obviously some 2 to 3 wide action coming down to the checker flag, and it's always a sight for some great finishes. So looking forward to that. Let's take a look at your race analysis. The Xfinity cars, fixed setup, 60 laps here tonight, 100% fuel, and 1 fast repair. So you do have that fast repair in your back pocket. And, if you ever need to yoink that thing out, which is a possibility here, you'll have that in the bank if you need to get a reset. That's always nice to have at some of these tracks. And so some guys will be really thankful to have that going. About 30 seconds left in qualifying, and we'll jump right into the action, as we don't want to waste any time and we don't miss anything. We got a few drivers out on track as we get ready for the grid, and you see Doug Ellingson here trying to lay down a fast lap. Currently sits on board about the 14th position at the moment. take a look at your qualifying time to see Charlie Harcum. They're on top right now with Mark McCrary in second. Brian Provo in third. Regis Clark in fourth at the moment. And that's going to end it right there. So Doug Ellingson able to cross the line. He's going to move up into the 8th spot. But ready to get this thing rolling. Gridding is happening right now. So let's go ahead and let's jump right into it and see where everybody's going to be starting here tonight. On your pole, going to be Charlie Harcum with Mark McCrary outside the front row. In row number 2 is going to be Brian Provo with Regis Clark outside of him. Chance Taylor going to start in the 5th position with Scott Phelps in 6th. 7th going to be Jacob Ellingson with Doug Ellingson outside of him. They might be related. Jamie Barkus in 9th. Jacob Denson in the 10th spot. In 11th, it's going to be Cody McElwain. John Anthony going to round out your 12th spot. With 13th, Chris Sawyer with Matt Knights in the 14th position. 15th is going to be Joe Yates with Alex Cruz in 16th. 17th, Mickey Isaac, George Jewell in the 18th spot. In 19th, Trevor McManus and Bobby Germain in the 20th position. And that is going to round out your field here tonight. Everybody getting ready to get this thing going. We're getting gridded up. Everybody getting ready to roll. And we'll cut this music off and take a look at our cameras that we got here tonight. We got Jacob Ellingson. We got Jamie Barkus. And Mickey Isaac. Got a new point of view for Mickey. Got that nice triple monitor setup. He's got a kazoo in his mouth, it looks like. And then one for timing and scoring up in front of him. So look at him. He's getting all the data up there on the screen right now. Look at he's an engineer. He's Chad Knaus up there as he's getting gridded up. So he's got all the information he needs to get this thing to the checkered flag and maybe try to get this win. Mickey Isaac, a Speedway King over in the Rebels League, but is he a Speedway King here? That's something we'll have to find out. He may have some work to do tonight. I think there's a lot of really good plate races here in the field. Don't know really what to expect about this season. A new season's always really, really tough to get going. And you've got some new faces. You've got, just everybody's trying to feel themselves out. We got some new faces. Charlie Harcum, Mark McCrary, Brian Provo. These are all new faces to me. They may not be new faces to the league, but regardless, definitely new to me. So going to be interesting to see exactly how these guys work together. And I know we've got some Speed Kings Motorsports guys, and we'll get the team names down as we go. But we'll learn everybody their affiliation. But I know Mark McCrary, he's got the Speed Kings car on his paint scheme, so I can go ahead and assume that he is a part of that. So that 83 machine looking pretty fast here tonight. It's got Harcum on the inside. We'll see just how this plays out. I mean, I love super speedway racing. I love watching. I'm not sure if I love racing them, but I like watching them. It's a lot of fun to see how these guys, this chess match is going to be going on here tonight, and to see, what everybody decides to do. You always have the guys that go to the back immediately and just want to ride. You got the guys that go up front, be aggressive, try to stay up front, block lanes, move lanes, try to keep that position, keep them getting shuffled back into the back. And all those strategies do work from time to time. So, we'll see what these guys decide to do, what the teams, and that's what the big thing about this particular, this style of racing. It's all about teams. Whoever is the best at teamwork tonight is going to win this race, no doubt about it. So we'll see who that's going to be. We're getting ready to go. We're going to knock this thing out, man. We're ready to hit the ground rolling here in the Goat Locker Racing Series for Season 7. And here in the Right Now Roofing Xfinity Series into the Geico Restart Zone. And we're green here. Well, lap number 1 in the books, and Mark McCrary is going to be leading that outside line with Charlie Harcum. They stay side by side after the first lap, a nice, cool, calm, collected first lap, and that's what you love to see. And you can already see some separation about 10th on back. Guys really just kind of backing off the pack. Hey, I'm not really wanting to be aggressive. And you see the aggressive guys up front. They started on the front row. They started near the front. They're really trying to push. You see Brian Provo there in that 08. I mean, he is all over the back bumper of that 28 machine. Gets a little out of shape, though, as he was entering in the corner, but that's what you got to do. You got to be aggressive. You know, everybody's strategy is different, but if you're going to be up front, you got to be aggressive. If you're going to go riding in the back, that is completely fine. You see Mark McCrary going to take over the top spot as he drops down in front of Charlie there in that 28 machine. But if you're going to be up front, you're going to be aggressive. You've got to continue that strategy. You can't be passive. You can't just sit in the lane. If there's something, there's moves to be made, you've got to make them. And that's been a part of plate racing for a long time. I mean, for as long as I can remember, that's what you got to do. And if you hear anybody know anything about plate racing, and guys that are good at it, they know you've got to be up there in the mix, up front. You can't lose the draft. These guys back here, about 10th on back, you know, you're in danger of one mistake causing you to lose the draft. Everybody's just trying to hang on to that draft. Just stay in it. Take it easy. Try to miss the wreck. That's the whole point of running in the back like that, just taking it easy. Maybe save a little bit of fuel. But one mistake, one little checkup, and you're losing the draft. So it is a tough, tough decision to make if you want to try to win these races. And so you can already see guys go ahead and making their plays, what they want to do. Mark McCrary started up front. He is going to take control of that bottom line. The top side is really strong, but it requires that you see a little bit of shuffling there from that red and white machine. I'm not really sure who that is. The 58 of Doug Ellingson was a little bit out of shape there going into the backstretch, but like he's able to get that thing wrapped up now. As we look here at Jacob Ellingson, yes, he's kind of hiding back here, fourth back on the bottom, just trying to hang out, but stay in the mix. He is one of those to be aggressive. There ain't no doubt about it. Jacob Ellingson will be up front all night long if he can do it. If he can stay out of trouble, that's always the big thing. He got a big smile on his face. You can see he's doing a little bit of laughing, and that's what you got to do. You got to stay loose here at these plate tracks. It's easy. You see he's kind of flexing his hands a little bit because you don't want to tightly grip that wheel. It looks like it's easy. They're just going around in a big circle, but it ain't easy. I'm telling you, you got those hands gripped like you're trying to lift a 200-pound bar at the weight room. You've got your muscles. Ooh, as Doug gets a little bit close there, but you got your arms locked. You got your back stiff. Everything is just stuck in place as you're just trying to make those fine movements, and you've got to be loose. You got to stay loose. You stay tight like that, you won't be able to make the moves that you need to do. So these guys ready to go. You can see Jacob, a little bit of scowl on his face, somebody not doing exactly what he wants to do. And that's another thing to think about. You know, you're out there, you're trying to run your own race, and you have to work with people, maybe your enemy, maybe the guy that you're racing for a championship down the line. You're going to be racing against him. So you have to be careful, you know, who you're running around, and sometimes it requires you to work together, and sometimes they don't do what you want them to do, and it just, boy, it's like being out on the freeway, a traffic jam on Friday evening, and just, it makes you so mad. What are you doing? You know, just get that road rage. That's what happens, even on sim racing, and we see that from time to time. Right now, Chance Taylor pushing out ahead. He's got, look, the number 8 of, oh my goodness, as Doug Ellingson gets way out of shape, and somebody is wrecking back there. It's Jacob Ellingson. Oh, my goodness. No caution as he is sitting on the front stretch, but nothing. And we stay green as the 27 goes around, and I don't know what happened to him. We were sitting there talking about him. All of a sudden, he's gone. Let's see if we can take a look and see what happened on the replay. And we're still green, though. But Jacob Ellingson, we're just talking about if he could stay out of trouble in that goat locker race in number 27. And I don't know if there was a little bit of checkup. You see that Right Now Roofing, number 15 behind him. So we'll see if we can see real quick on the, and Doug Ellingson comes down the track and gets him, and boom, right on the inside wall. Nobody else collected, but Jacob Ellingson going to have to tow and get a fast repair. And you do not want to do that early. So he is going to have a lot of trouble. And probably it's going to be weird. You know, Thanksgiving just came around, but it might be weird at Thanksgiving next year after something like that. But up front, Mark McCrary holds off Chance Taylor at the moment as he's got the 23 of Charlie. Harcum is really laying on the back bumper to that 83, but that outside line with the 08. And I don't know who that is. It's number 8. It should be the number 2. So Regis got maybe the wrong number. But the 2 is the number 8 of Regis Clark. So you'll see the 2 there in the 4th position. But his number is the 8 on track. So you see him all over the back bumper of Chance Taylor. Now, the only thing that makes me nervous is Regis is sort of all over the place. You see him really pushing, trying to get Chance out front. That's what you have to do on that top line, is really put the pressure on that bottom line, side draft aggressively. See how low they are, almost making contact, just trying to pull those guys back. You see Regis actually gets a little bit nervous there and backs out of it, but trying to push that outside line to get out ahead. But they come separated just a little bit. That allows that bottom line to get a little bit of a momentum boost there. As the 79 you see of Scott Phelps not really there on the back bumper of Regis. So Regis really being aggressive, but here comes Charlie Harcum up to the outside. He wants to lead that second line, and so Chance Taylor going to get behind him and push. And Regis Clark's going to be right behind those guys. So that top line now has the momentum, has the pushes. As Charlie Harcum said, I'm tired of being up front or pushing the guy in the lead. I want to go to the lead. And he goes straight up to the top side. You see some wiggling. That's where those accidents come in. We've already seen some wiggling that has caused an accident. And that back and forth move, that's the toughest to deal with, because one wrong move, and we're talking about a big wreck. And the big one, something we always have to think about here in this type of racing. So you can just see it's just back and forth like a snake. And all it takes is for one wrong move, clip that right rear, left rear, and somebody's going spinning. But it's hard to do. It's hard to get locked to somebody's back bumper and just push and keep your eyes straight on that guy and not. Let's see, look at Chance Taylor here. He's right on the back bumper. And you see he's pushing. You want to push right there where he's pushing, on the left side of the bumper or in the middle. You never want to push too hard on that right rear quarter panel. You see he actually kind of goes in the corner, lets the car drift up a little bit just to give himself some space. A little bit too early to be too aggressive. Letting giving some air to that front end. You don't want to push too long that you heat up the engine and cause yourself to overheat, and then you have to go to the back. Jacob Ellingson is back on track with that faster pair, but without the caution coming out, he is 2 laps down, and he is all by himself, so he will likely very quickly go 3 laps down. So a tough night already for the 27 machine as we got more contact. Regis Clark going around. And still no caution. I'm not really sure what's going on. It's Regis Clark spinning there. The caution finally comes out. And we've got a 2 or 3 car, Alex Cruz involved. Regis Clark and I think Cody McElwain. I tell you what, if you're Jamie Barkis, you're kind of sweating a little bit, because that is all of the Goat Locker Racing team entries at the moment have been involved in something. And caution finally flies this time. We'll see exactly what happened. Let's take a look at the replay. Maybe we can find out what happened. A little bit not quite there, but it looked like it started with Regis Clark. Oh, man. A bad push from, looks like the 58 of Doug Ellingson. You can see they go just spinning there. Let's go on board with Doug and see if we can see what happened. Kind of hard to see from that angle. We'll back it up one more time and just see. It looked like Doug was pretty square, so I don't know if Regis had to check up for that top line. We'll see right here. Yeah, that's what happened. So not Doug's fault at all. There was a checkup from what I believe was Chance Taylor. see if we can get a good look at it. You can see just a little bit of check up there, and when he did, Regis was trying to get woed up. I mean, Doug just nowhere to go, and unfortunately for Regis, he is going to go around. So, but pit road wide open. Mark McCreary going to lead the field down. I'm sure everybody going to come down and get fuel. I would imagine they're pretty close to being able to make it on 100% fuel. You know, it's hard to say. The fuel tanks are a little bit lower in the super speedway version of these cars, so they may have to make one more stop. As you see, just fuel only for Mark McCreary. That's a track position thing. No need to come down and get tires, especially at night. We'll take a look at the weather here. The weather is, I mean, it's 74 degrees, 76 on the track temp. That is nothing. That is, I mean, that's nothing. That's a very, very cool track. So, no need to come down and get tires. You're not going to see any kind of tire wear. We see some guys come down. Mickey Isaac came down and got 4 tires. Chance Taylor gives up that front running order to get 4 tires. He'll drop back to the 8th spot. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're going to need much tires tonight, even though they have, I think, unlimited amount. But under our first caution of the night, and again, want to thank our sponsors, Right Now Roofing, the title sponsor for this series, for coming on board. Really glad to have them a part of this. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting series. Well, this will be really good for Jacob Ellingson, who is, excuse me, a little bit of the behind baseball here, or inside baseball, excuse me. Jacob Ellingson will get the lucky dog after that caution. He'll be able to go around and get one of those laps back, but he's still going to need another caution to get back in this thing. He's currently 20th, 1 lap down. So he's going to have to stay in it, stay with it, and try to get up there. He doesn't really need to battle for position. He can't unlap himself, and he can get up there and unlap himself where the caution does come out. He will, go on around, but that lucky dog is plenty good enough for him. So he just needs to hang back, stay out of trouble. But he's got that fast repair already gone. He needs to stay out of trouble and get to the next caution if we have one, which I would imagine we're not going to be. I'd be very surprised if we go green the rest of the way. Look at Mickey Isaac here. Hear him doing a little bit of saving fuel there. You can hear that engine kind of going down as he gears down, getting ready. Take a little sip of Mountain Dew. He's ready to roll. That's a very, very cool look on board with Mickey Isaac as we get ready to go green here. Mark McCreary going to lead us down to the green flag. Get this thing back rolling. 15 of 60. Still a long way to go here. Green flag is out. And a really good start for Mark on the outside there, as he is going to get a pretty good jump, and obviously going to drop down and try to get these guys single file. You can see Charlie Harcum going to be following in his footsteps. You see the 08 of Brian Provo go down to the inside, and Barkas kind of gets left out to dry. You can already see the team work there As Charlie going to go to the outside, though. He ain't playing around. Going to get a big push from Jamie Barkis here. That's going to push Charlie Harcum out to the front. Jamie's got a little bit of help from the 14 of Chance Taylor, who after those coming down pit road for 4 tires, oh my goodness, is Charlie comes down and scares, I think, the 83 just a little bit as they bounce off the apron, almost make a little bit of contact, but they keep it together. And man, it just seems like it is nervous out here. You see these guys, it's the first race jitters. That's what you're going to get. Guys that haven't raced around each other that much, some new fellas, and they're going to come in here, and everybody's just trying to get used to each other. Who can take a push, who can't. You got to find all that out here in these first, at least 30 laps. You want to really find somebody you can work with, whether it be a teammate or another competitor. But side by side here on lap 17. And you see the 28 getting pushed out front there. He's going to lead just a little bit by nose, really. He's going to stay on that top side, not pulling down in front of that 83. And, I wonder if these guys are teammates. That's always the question that I have is, we'll learn all these guys. Oh, man, is Jamie Barkis going to go to the outside, though? Oh, my goodness, they almost make contact. There's a 3 wide. You see somebody backing out of this thing. Oh, my goodness, and that top line just gets completely shuffled out of the way as, man, Jamie Barkis and Charlie Harcum just, oh, my goodness, they make contact down to the bottom. Matt Knights comes up. I mean, golly, I'm holding my breath here. Is this that really, really changed things. You saw Jamie Barkis get a run on the outside, and, Charlie Harcum continuing to run 3 wide here by himself, not willing to jump down in line, and finally he's going to move down there now. Now the 14 is going to push that 15 machine, and now Jamie Barkis is going to lead that top line for now. Look at the big push that the 15 is going to get there on the outside. You see, they're trying to get that thing rolling. The 14 pushing. Jamie Barkis. Now Barkis going to have to check up a little bit as looks like Brian Provo going to jump up there. He saw Jamie Barkis coming. He jumped up there. He said, I'm going to lead that line. Thank you very much. When I was going back to him, trying to get the ticker to show all the drivers. Somebody noticed in chat. Sorry, I have no idea what the problem is. ATVO can be finicky sometimes, but we'll keep tabs of everybody. I'll keep giving y'all updates on where everybody is. We'll try to make sure you can stay informed, but right now, not much I can do. I tried everything I can. We'll keep on working on that. See if we can't get that back at some point. But we're gonna make sure we call the action though. Tickers. We'll just say the heck with it. But side by side, Brian Provo on the outside, getting a big push from Jamie Barkis. And, talking about that before, I was trying to figure out what was going on with the ticker. One thing you can do as teammates, and I don't know if Brian and Mark are teammates, and like I said, we'll get that all figured out. But if I was a teammate with somebody, I want to control both lanes. It's, you think, well, let's all line up together on one lane. No, because that's going to allow guys to get around you on the outside and then pull down in front of you. And then all of a sudden, you look up, you got 4 drivers nose to tail, but you're sitting in 7th there on the bottom. So it is definitely beneficial to try to block both lanes, control both of them if you can, and you control the race. If you can control both of those lanes, you've got the race. So, if Provo and McCrary are on the same team, Provo just doesn't have to come down whenever he clears Mark. And we'll see, and that'll tell us about all we need to know right here if Provo ever does get the push that he needs to get out front. Will he come down? If not, you'll know that he's just trying to maintain that lane and not let anybody go. And oh my goodness, we got somebody way down on the bottom. Looks like Bobby Germain down on the apron. It's going to come back up on the track. Trying to hang on to it. That 42 machine just not able to get it back up there. He finally does, but he is going to lose the draft. As you can see, that the cars are gone. And that's how quickly it can go wrong. All right, Ryan Pendleton in chat said Brian Provo is a subcontractor for Goat Locker Racing, so we expect those orange cars to be put together. Now it looks like a Ford and a Chevrolet. Now I don't know if that's allowed or not. And it looks like maybe it's not. I don't know. Is Barkus gonna go around to the outside as Provo does get clear? And Barkus made it very clear there he was going to go to the outside. So Barkus looking to take over the top spot here on lap 23 of 60. Oh, big wreck. Big wreck. It looks like, oh, my goodness. Charlie Harcum may be involved along with, Scott Phelps. Looks like he was involved. Couple drivers, you see Scott Phelps there. He is really tore up. That 79 machine is. I mean, the front end's all gone on that thing. And let's take a look, see if we can find out what happened there. See the 79 getting pushed by the 58 here, and we'll see exactly what happened. You see Mark McCreary come up a little bit, and Doug Ellingson goes up the track and right hooks the 79 into the wall. Doug already a couple incidents in. He's been involved in 3 of them so far. Just a tough night for that 58 machine. As you can see there, Scott Phelps, though, in big, big trouble. Take a look on board with Doug, as it was already happening there, so we'll back up just a little bit more. See, just trying to ride in this lane. He's going to come off the corner. He's just going to drift up to the middle lane, and when he does, he just goes up to the middle and then comes right back down. It looked like he was trying to go maybe to the middle, but yeah, it's hard to say. We'll slow it down just a little bit so we can kind of break it down just a little bit more just to see maybe, because right here you're going to see sort of a checkup here by the 79, and then Doug goes, and I just doesn't look like he intended to go up there and just tried to make the decision at the last minute to come back down, and unfortunately he was right there. And man, a big contact. See Matt Knight's involved as well. So you see Doug Ellingson coming down pit road, as caution did come out for that. And he is driving slowly down pit road, so may have some damage in that 58. Yeah, it looks like he's got some engine damage, as that car is completely cut off. Like he will get down to his pit stall. Hopefully he doesn't slide through, and he does, so he should get his fast repair and be able to get that thing back out there. But Jamie Barker's going to stay out on track, so just a few drivers coming down pit road there. No, everybody came down pit road, and man, Jacob Ellingson, we talked about it. Needed some help to get back on the lead lap. Had that incident with Doug earlier that really hurt his car. He had to tow. He couldn't even get back to pit lane. Got that fast repair, though, and went 2 laps down because of the green. The green stayed out. No caution. And went 2 laps down, and now a couple cautions later, he has been able to get back on the lead lap. So that 27 Goat Locker Racing entry is back in this thing. Like Trevor McManus, been on pit road for quite a while. Don't know if he has some damage or what's going on with him. He's been really quiet here tonight, so I think he's probably just waiting towards the end, and I think we'll see him up towards the front. I don't see any damage. Hadn't really seen him be involved in anything, so I think he is just biding his time, waiting for these laps to click down before we'll see him up front. But we are doubled up, getting ready to go back green. Jamie Barkus, Brian Provo going to be your front row here on this restart. And then we got Cody McElwain up there in that number 6 machine. He is going to be second row on the outside. And then you got Chance Taylor, who's been up front all race long there on the bottom behind Jamie Barkus. So we're getting down to about halfway, and it's going to continue to build, I think. You know, guys could normally be patient for a few laps, but at this point, you know, if it were to go green, you need to be positioning yourself, because the big thing is, I mean, these guys you haven't seen a whole lot of movement. You see a lot of guys going to the high side, getting pushed, dropping down on the bottom. Then the next guy on the outside pushes by the guy on the bottom, on the top, and gets out in front, goes down to the bottom, and it's just a constant cycle of that. But we've seen just a few of that, just a few passes, but not that many. And so if you wait too long, if we get to about 10 laps to go, 15 laps to go, if you're not in those first 3 rows, you're going to be in trouble. So now is the time. If you plan on winning this race, you're going to have to get to the front. So that, anxiety, the pressure, the aggressiveness is going to continue to build. And I think that's going to continue to cause more accidents here, as guys are going to be pushing a little bit harder, running a little bit closer into the Geico restart zone. Jamie Barkus with the lead. He's going to get out to a huge lead here as Provo trying to block Cody McElwain maybe on the outside, but he's going to drop down to the bottom, and now Cody is going to be by himself. He's going to try to tuck in behind Chance Taylor, most likely. But Mark McCrary going to be there to cover, and you heard Cody McElwain there kind of lift, say, okay, I need to get down to the bottom quickly. And so that's exactly what he does. They go screaming down the backstretch. You can see just a little bit of movement here, back and forth, as Chance Taylor going to jump up to the outside. He's got Mark McCrary. That 83, that blue 83 has been in the mix all night long, and so is Chance. So they're going to continue that, as they got Charlie Harcum right behind them. So a little bit of Speed Kings Motorsports going on, I think, up at the front. And I tell you what, there is a Speed Kings Motorsports somebody in chat. I tell you what, tell me who your drivers are so I know exactly who is part of Speed Kings. That way I can make sure I shout them out properly. I try to know everybody's team name, but I know a lot of these guys are new to me, so we'll continue to learn them. But excited to see how they race so far. These guys up front that are new to me have been really impressive here at Daytona in this Xfinity car. Go on board with the number 83 of Mark McCrary. He is pushing. You can see he is all over the back bumper, and while he is wiggling a little bit, you see he's just trying to stay inside the headlights, the rear headlights there. If you can keep that front end between those forward headlights, or I guess tail lights, that's a good place to be. Kind of stick that nose out just a little bit to get some air, but trying to stay as close as possible. Oh my goodness, you can see the wiggling back and forth. He's trying to keep up with Chance Taylor, who's wiggling a little bit, and you can see how quickly it gets out of shape. And while these accidents happen, he is focused on the back bumper. We're looking at a helmet cam here. You can see, I mean, you can't really see much other than Atlantic Civil. And he is just trying to focus on that back bumper. He really can't see what's beside him or what's behind him. He's trying to just focus on pushing the number 14 machine. As you see, whoa, big wiggle there, and my goodness, got really out of shape. So I guess he probably heard me talking about him. I don't know, but here comes Charlie Harcum as the 83. I think he might have blinked out. I think that's why he's pulling out here, going towards the back. I think he had some internet issues. We saw it on the stream there as he kind of blinked out of the camera for a second. So Mark McCrary going to go to the back, wait for his connection to kind of calm down. And boy, that's a bummer to see that happen. That's part of internet racing. We don't have brake failures. We don't have engine failures without some sort of damage. Internet failures is where we have our issues. That's our mechanical failures. And so right now he's trying to nurse that thing, make sure he doesn't cause any trouble. And I'll tell you what, that's a great way to gain respect out here on the track. If you're new to a series and you're having connection issues, and you back off and say, hey, guys, I'm going to just let everybody go. I don't want to cause a problem. That is a great way to gain some respect. So big respect to Mark McCrary there for just kind of hopping out of line saying, hey, I don't want to cause any trouble. Up front, still Jamie Barkas. So it looks like Mark McCrary is the only Speed Kings in the only Speed Kings in the field tonight. I know there's quite a few that are going to be running in other series, so we're just glad to have those guys running here in Goat Locker. Just over halfway now, crossing over on the lap 32. And I want to appreciate y'all's patience. It's been a while since I have announced. I've been on a pretty long off season, so we're trying to get back into the groove. I know there's probably some awkward moments so far, but hey, stick with me. We're going to keep getting better, and these broadcasts are going to continue to get better as the season goes on. And we're going to make sure that we bring all the action to just see somebody getting out of whack there. But Bobby Germain lost the draft earlier, was able to get caught back up with that caution, and so I'm going to go down below the yellow again. So just some nervousness. I mean, that's sort of been the kind of theme of this race is, hey, everybody just kind of trying to get comfortable with each other and get settled in. We're starting to see these pushes be a little bit more aggressive. As Chance Taylor now pulls even with Jamie Barkas, just not quite able to get the run he needs to clear him, as Brian Provo has been all over the back bumper of Jamie Barkas for quite a while. And just being an incredible wingman for Jamie. Jamie is just sort of a, I mean, Jamie is just along for the ride. He's just holding it flat, keeping it on the yellow. That's what you got to do. You just got to keep her matted to the floor. And, you know, have a lot of faith in the guy behind you. Provo has really done a good job so far. Now Chance is going to lead this lap in that number 14 machine. But just not quite able to get the run he needs to clear it. Now, talking about Brian Provo, you know, if you watch any of my streams before and talked about super speedway racing, you know exactly how I feel about that guy down on the bottom, that first guy behind the leader, that 08. Second car in line is, Chance Taylor able to get down in front of Jamie. Everybody kind of wiggles a little bit there, but Chance Taylor going to drop down to the bottom, and he's going to get a little bit of that apron. We'll see if that opens the door for Jamie Barkas. Is he going to be out of shape there, and Jamie going to get down to the inside. And while Chance had it for a second, he lost it. That's how quickly it happens here at Daytona. But talking about that second guy on the bottom, he is the most important guy on the track. You talk about football, and you know that left tackle is one of the most important positions on offense as he protects the blind side of the quarterback. Well, I'll tell you what, right now, Jamie Barkas is the quarterback. Brian Provo is that left tackle because he controls how this works. Now, you can't push forever. Your car will overheat. So you have to back off. You have to time those pushes. And what Provo can do is wait for the 14 of Chance Taylor to get a run and then creep up to the back bumper of that 15 of Jamie Barkas, push until that run stalls on the outside. Then he can back off, let that car cool off a little bit. So he has so much power in the race, that second guy in line on the bottom. And he can really control how him and the leader maintain that track position. It takes a lot of focus and a lot of skill, and you see they almost lost it there, but Chance getting a little bit of that apron opened the door back up for them to continue that. And right now, Provo doing a great job not allowing the outside line to really gain any momentum. He gets up there, he pushes Jamie Barkas where the outside line is the strongest, which is right off the corner down midway through the straightaways is where they're the strongest. You see push to get down into the entrance of turn 3, and he comes off the back bumper. And that, you know, the 14 is run out of momentum at that point. So now Provo are going to get back to the back bumper, push the 15, and not allow that 14 machine to get the run that he needs. That outside line needs the runs down the straightaway to get out front. And so far, you can see the 08 being a huge asset to that 15 right now. take a look out the back bumper of Jamie Barton. Take a look at his cam. You can see he's got the goat locker garb. And you can see not much mirror checking. He's got all the confidence in Provo here as he's just trying to make sure he stays on the yellow line, keeps that car. I mean, doesn't want to do what Chance Taylor did. And you see those eyes forward, not looking back, not really looking at what's going on behind him, just focused on trying to stay out front, maintain that lead, because at the end of the race, if you're out front, you've got the best chance to win. I know that's a duh, but it's true. It looks like the number 83 of Mark McCrary has decided to get back in the mix. He's right behind Alex Cruz, who was involved in an incident earlier, has been able to get back out there and get up in the mix. And you see, look how tight these lines are now as, man, business picking up 60 laps at a super speedway. Seems like a lot, but it's really not. And these laps are going to click off quickly. Now, the question is, can everybody make it on fuel? That's the one thing that I don't know. Usually they can run about 30 or so laps on a tank of fuel. I think that might be a little bit high. So I think they still all got to make one more pit stop. Now, right now, the only person that has not come down pit road at all is the 28 machine of Charlie Harcum. Now, he is 39 laps on this stint, so maybe they can go about 40 laps because he has yet to come down to get fuel, tires, or anything, as far as I know. Now, I may have missed something trying to fix the ticker, so I think he actually has. So I'm going to go back on that. But regardless, we don't know how long they can go before they need to come down and get fuel. So they might be good to go. They might not. I don't have a pit road reporter. It's just me. So I don't know. So we're going to find out together. You know, the joy is in discovery, I think. Right now, 20 laps to go, and this is that time, that point in the race I was talking about where if you have not made your move, if you have not gotten up into the mix right up here, look how tight these lines are as we'll go to the blimp cam and look. I mean, up front, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows that are side by side, pretty tight. If you're not in those rows, there's nowhere to go. You can get up to the top side, but we have already seen that these guys are wiggling quite a bunch, and I think if 3 wide ends up happening, it could be a nervous, and I don't know if these guys have proved that they can handle 3 wide just yet. But if you got to be brave enough to do it, if you're in the back, at some point you're going to have to go. I mean, if you're Jacob Ellingson, who is back here in the 11th position, at some point you're going to, I mean, you can't go through Bobby Germain there on the bottom. You're going to have to move the lanes and find somewhere to go. So, you know, it's going to take some movement to make it work. And somebody we haven't talked about tonight, that 00 of John Anthony, been kind of riding. You see that 00 car now third on the top side. Making moves. You saw him moving lanes from the bottom to the top. That's what you got to do. He is doing what he's got to do to try to get something going. Peeks up to the outside. He's might be trying to see if Alex Cruz is willing to go with it. You know, you kind of do that a couple times. You don't have communication. If you're not on the same team, you don't have that communication. Oh my goodness, we're going to make contact. Brian Provo up into the wall. And here we go, the big one. Provo goes around, and it's a melee back here. Provo goes around. George Jewell involved. All kinds of drivers. Regis Clark backwards on the track. Doug Ellingson again involved in this one. You see the 5 of Alex Cruz. And it all started with that 08 machine of Brian Provo, who actually looks like, you see Doug Ellingson there with, and his motor just blew. I saw the puff of smoke. Look at him. Well, his motor hadn't blown yet. He's got enough. He does have a fast repair. This is a nervous time as he is trying to make it before that engine explodes. If he can make it back to pit road, he can use that fast repair and get back into this thing. But if the motor blows, if he pushes it too hard, he'll have to tow it. Oh, man. It looks like he is trying to be very, very careful to get this thing down and get that fast repair. You see the damage on the back As, my goodness, that was a big, big wreck. Let's take a look at it. See, we already kind of waited a little bit too long. We'll try to see what happened here. Yeah, it looks like maybe he just kind of scooted up the track. I think Cody McElwain may have had the best view of it. You see the 08 right in front of him, that Ford. I'm not really sure what happened here. See, just, a little bit of net code. That's what that was. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened there. And you can see all the drivers just going all over the place. Go back a little bit, try to see that one more time, but that was some net code for sure. Try to get a camera view that's worth any salt, but it looks like he's gonna kind of creep up a little bit into that 14. You see that sort of just kind of jiggled a little bit on the entry. When he did make contact with the 14, and then, my goodness, just all over the place. Guys going everywhere. Doug Ellingson got massive, massive hit. Let's go back and look. I mean, he has had just the worst of nights. I feel so bad for Doug to watch on board with him. Going into turn one here, you're going to see the contact. Doug going to try to make it through this. His car's going everywhere. He does a great job, and then right at the last moment, I mean, he tried to daze the thunder that thing, and right at the last moment, oh, man, and Regis Clark the same. Go back and see from his point of view as he comes. I mean, he had gone through the grass and everything, and then, just the last second. So, wow. That was the biggest wreck we've had all night for sure, and that's going to be a race ender for some folks. Doug Ellingson he is now going to have to call it quits, and like I said, feel bad for him as he has had a really, really tough night. And he now sits on pit road. Regis Clark also on pit road. Cody McElwain has come down and gotten about a minute worth of damage fixed as he comes back out on track now. So electing not to take that fast repair, that's a tough decision. That's hard. That's a hard one. I never really know what to do because you want to come down and save that fast repair. There's still 15 laps to go. There's still probably a few wrecks still left to happen. And you want to keep that fast repair if you can. And so I think Cody decides to come down, try to get as much of that damage fixed as he possibly can, and try to save that fast repair. But what you hope is that the damage model doesn't go crazy, and the damage that you fixed, it did a good job of getting the wheel back straight, but the engine might be a little bit down on power, and you end up losing the draft. It's such a tough call. But Cody feels like everything is good. You got to clutch it, see what their RPMs are, and see if the motor is up to where it needs to be. He feels like it is, so he comes down and just lets the pit crew fix it up, and he's going to be back in 15th after that incident. Up front, it is still Jamie Barkus, Chance Taylor. Chance been up front all race long, but Jamie kind of got up through there, made some awesome moves to get up to the front and just never let it go. And I mean, what a better way to and I'm going to jinx it. I'm not going to say it. I was about to say something, not going to do it. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. And, but that's a good looking right now roofing Xfinity car he's got there. And he's got his teammate right behind him, Jacob Ellingson, overcoming some adversity to get back to the back bumper of his teammate. So Goat Locker had about 4 guys that had trouble. Jamie is the only one that hasn't had any issues so far. And that Camaro looking strong. And he's got a teammate now behind him to help push him to a victory. But Chance Taylor has been aggressive and in a good way. I don't mean in a bad way. I think in a really good way. He has been able to stay up front, been battling for this top spot. That Atlantic Civil Ford is strong here tonight, so he's definitely a contender. And you got Jacob Denson, somebody named that I haven't called here tonight, who has got that 7 machine. After that, able to miss that wreck, and now here he is right behind Chance Taylor there on the bottom with just under 15 laps to go when we go green here. Pace car going to pull out. Pull down on pit road. We're going to get ready to go green here. 15 laps to go in this race. Who's going to win it? I don't know. Really good start for the Goat Locker guys. You can see they're connected here. They're trying to stay as close as possible, but that separation, Alex is gonna have to get to his back bumper and really push, because the head of steam these guys behind him are gonna have, they're gonna be sitting ducks if they're not pushing. And you see he gives them a nice big push down the back straightaway. What do you do if you're Jamie Barkus? He's gonna stay with his teammate, but I know the thought was in his head, do I pull down and try to block that run from the bottom? The elects not to. The top side now really, really close together. They got a big push. Should be able to get that 15 back out front, but Chance getting a huge shove there on the bottom from Jacob Denson. Will anybody be willing to make it 3 wide? I mean, this is a points-paying race, so the best finish you can get is what you want to do, especially if you're going to fight for a championship. Who's willing to make that move, though, for glory, to get that win, to get the W, to be the first winner of Season 7 in Goat Locker in all of the series? For one day, you'll be the only winner so far in Season 7. I think that's something worth fighting for. They're going to clear themselves as, whoa, that was tight. The 14 was right there, and Jacob Ellis and Jamie Barkus working together. They're able to jump down to the bottom line. Now they control the race 100%. And Matt Knight's there on the outside. Now is going to lead that top line. That was a big, big time move here with just 13 laps to go to get in front of Chance. I can't believe they were able to pull that off. Very close, though. Jacob, I mean, you could have put a skunk hair between him and the front bumper of Chance Taylor. Now look at the top side. The bottom has just 3 cars in it as the 7 has dropped off. Matt Knight's going to get a big push from Mark McCrary in that 83. We saw him jumping out of the field, going to the back because of blinking. He ain't blinking no more. He's got his eyes wide open, and he is pushing that 64 machine. Matt Knight, he knows how to get around a super speedway, and they are locked nose to tail trying to get that 64 machine out front. Jamie Barkus telling his teammate, hey, come on, push me. That ain't a good impression, but that's exactly what it sounds like in the team chat, I'm sure. Now it's just chess. Man, Matt Knights he's out in front. Does he leave? Oh, he thought about it for just a second. He's going to break up. Mark McCrary is like, hey, whatever you want to do, brother. If you want to jump down to the bottom, that's fine with me. I'm going to take the lead of this top line. I think Matt Knights kind of felt that. And, oh, you get a little wild here as they go down the back straightaway. But that top line has really got some momentum as they go down to turn 3. But a big push from the 27 is going to allow the 15 to get back out or side by side with the 64. Matt Knights, a little bit of loyalty there. I wonder if that's going to hurt him. He was loyal to that 83, said, no, I'm not going to abandon you here. As, oh, man, they get a little wiggly off of turn 4 coming to the stripe. Matt Knights side by side with Jamie Barkus. 10 laps to go here in the Right Now Roofing Xfinity Series. I'm watching the cameras of Jake and Jamie, and it's very quiet. There might be a little smirk here and there, but it is very, very quiet, and I don't see a whole lot of mouths moving, talking to each other. I think they're locked in. They're telepaths. They're talking to each other with brain waves, and they're saying exactly what they need to have happen, and Jacob is doing exactly that. What I talked about with Brian Provo, who's sitting back in the 10th position, just nowhere to go at the moment. Now, like I said earlier, Jacob Ellingson is in control of this race. He is the one that controls how Jamie Barkus continues to control that bottom line. So it is in Jacob's hands to make sure he watches that top line, sees the run coming, maybe get a little bit of radio transmission from his teammates back there and say, hey, here comes a big push. I'm going to get right on your back bumper. I'm going to give you a big push here. Then when the bottom line or top line drops back a little bit, he kind of backs off, lets that car cool down, don't want to get overheated. There's a lot to think about here. And they're doing a great job. Big run coming from the top side. You see Mark all over the back bumper of the 64. With the 9 of Trevor McManus. I told you, he's going to be there. Number 9 up there in the mix towards the end of this race. We saw him all the way at the back. Hell, he was by himself at one point, and here he is, up trying to make moves. He's got his teammate Joe Yates right around him. When will they make a move? Now, I know Trevor McManus very well, and I'm going to tell you right now, he is not afraid to go 3 wide. He will stick that car exactly where he needs to go. He's got Mickey Isaac behind him. He's got Mickey Isaac and Brian Provo, and so far those guys have shown to be really, really good super speedway racers. And look here. Mickey Isaac looking maybe down to the inside. You can see a little bit of pushing and shoving, a little bit of uncertainty here as we get down to about 7 laps to go here in this race. It's going to be a good finish. If you're, oh my goodness, they make contact, bro! Jamie Barkus head first into the wall. There goes, I can't see who that is. They're missing the whole front bumper. Mark McCreary involved, and Jamie Barkus, your leader, Matt Knights, and Mickey Isaac. Big contact. This is your second big one of the night. Let's go back and see what happened. And I think what you're going to see is the 83 going to get that 64 a little bit out of shape here, pushing in the corner, pushes on that right rear, and then catches that left rear, and exactly, boom! Big contact. Oh, my goodness. Tough hit. We'll go on board with Jamie Barkus. As you're going to see, he ain't going to be able to, he ain't going to know it's coming. He's just riding along. He's just doing exactly what he's been doing all night long, just keeping it right there on the yellow line. Then out of nowhere, head first into the wall. Big contact. And you can see cars going everywhere. Mark McCreary. Some guys going through the grass. Matt Knights. Big damage. Mickey Isaac also involved in that one. Some guys coming down pit road. I can't see who this exactly is, like Joe Yates and John Anthony, who was that other driver that was involved there. That 01, you can see that right front not even turning. He's had so much contact to that double aught machine, trying to get it in pit road. He's going to get a fast repair. Boop. Brand new car. He's going to go back out there and have another shot at it. But, yeah, just a tough deal. There's a look on board with Jamie Barkus, who's sitting on pit road. Oh, sitting on pit road now, and you can see, I mean, just, man, I just, frustration is not the word for it. Because you've been running, you did everything right, and that's that's the worst part about these plate races is that you do everything right, and, you know, you're running nose to tail, you side by side with guys, one small mistake, you're caught up in it, and it didn't even involve you. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, Barkus up there had done a great job of staying up front, and he's not going to get the finish that he deserves. He had to tow, not able to get that car driven back like we saw with Brian Provo, able to get that car back to pit road. So Barkus, here on iRacing, the way that it works, iRacing will simulate a tow truck. If you're not able to crank that car up and get it back to pit road on your own, you can exit out and click a button that says tow. So if you're not a part of iRacing, it's a little inside to understand why it happens that way. And so iRacing calculates how long it would take for a tow truck to get there, pick you up, carry you to pit road, and you have to wait that amount of time. And that's what Barkus is waiting on right now. He does have a fast repair, and you see he just got it. So it took almost 3 minutes, which I think is pretty damn fast tow, if I had to say so myself. You see, he got a brand new car, got that fast repair, but now he's a lap down because of that tow. So it's why it was so important for those guys to get down pit road and get to their stall, try not to blow their motor, as you know, because you have to wait all that time. You're definitely going to lose a lap. Now, I don't think Barkus is out of it. Now he's got Matt Knights, who is running in 17th. Both those guys are a lap down. He's actually coming back down pit road. So Matt Knights already used his fast repair. So Jamie Barkus will be the first driver one lap down. So if we get another caution, he will be able to get back on the lead lap and at least have a chance. So it's still in it That's the beauty of a fast repair. Sometimes it can keep you in this thing, and you know another caution is likely to happen. So he is not out of it at all. Trevor McManus looks like he was involved in that one as well. We talked about him finally getting up to the front, and he involved in that wreck. He's got his fast repair taken, but he sits in 15th, able to stay on the lead lap. But Jacob Ellingson, going to be your leader as we're doubled up, getting ready to go green here. He is... I mean, you see, as soon as I turned the camera on, big laugh out of him. He's comfortable. He's got the 08 behind him. I mean, Provo has been an incredible teammate to anybody he's pushing. So if I'm the 27, I feel very, very confident. And while the 14 has been pretty incredible all race long, he's got George Jewell up front, who has not been up here pushing. Hasn't put in the time during the race to see how it is. Now, we don't know what George can do. Maybe he's going to be a super speedway master. But these guys down on the bottom, they have been working hard all race to know exactly what they need to do. So Chance is really going to have to be aggressive to break these two up. But I'm going to be honest with you. These Goat Locker guys, they bring in the heat on these paint schemes. Incredible paint scheme for that number 27 machine, the 15 of Jamie Barkus. Just amazing schemes. And a lot of folks have put a lot of good work into these schemes. Look at the 6 back there, Cody McElwain. Whoever's that painter is putting these things on the track. Pretty incredible. Just want to shout that out. But here we go. Getting ready to go green here. Going to come down to 4 or 5 laps to go here. Jacob Ellingson going to have control of this restart. Gets a good jump. Green flag is out. And he's going to immediately back up to the 08. Knows he does not want to get out too far. You see Alex Cruz there down at the bottom. Cody McElwain going to drop down. It is a Goat Locker affiliate. 1, 2, 3, 4 down on the bottom line, and you could see, I mean, Chance Taylor's like, hey, what happened? He is really fighting to try to find what's going on here. Why am I falling back so far? That's the power of teamwork. I don't know. That sounds like something the Care Bears would say. Power of love, power of teamwork, something like that. I don't know. But you see, he's 3 wide. As George Jewell is going to make, oh, here we go. Chance Taylor gets a little bit too close to Joe Yates. Almost big contact. He's going to jump up in front. Oh, they're going to make contact. Jamie Barkus gets a side swipe from the 28 of Charlie Harcum. Oh, my God, they're making contact again. Mark McCray goes hard into the wall. Trevor McManus involved in that one again. Hoods flying everywhere. Bumpers going everywhere. Caution. Back out. And Jamie Barkus, is he going to be the lucky dog? I think he will be. Holy moly. Well, that was crazy. Let's go back and look at it here on the replay. We're getting a lot of good replays here tonight. And you can see it was boiling over here as Barkus. Lots of contact there. And the 28, you see Trevor McManus goes down to the inside. A little bit of net code there. We'll go back a little bit to see exactly what that looked like from his point of view. You can see all the contact. And then right here, I mean, just a little bit of net code. I think Trevor was just trying to get up into the middle of that group. And, man, Chance Taylor takes a big, big hit there. Trying to get you a little blimp cam here so we can see exactly what happened. You see Barkus going to come up through here, going to get a little boom, tank slap. He's going to keep going, though. Got a lot of weight on him. You can't push him out of the way like that. And you see Trevor McManus trying to follow. And when that happens, it's just calamity back here. So, whew. Well, I think Jamie did get an incident right before that wreck. And sometimes that will trigger that where he doesn't get the EOL. But I think that was well after he got he made that contact well before that accident happened. So I think once we cross the line here, Jamie Barkus will be back on the lead lap. So like I said, you're never out of it. You got to stay in it. Even though he had to tow, lost a lap, he's still in this thing. He doesn't have fast repair. He's going to have to do it the hard way. He's going to drive up from the back. But I think he will get the lucky dog here. And that 15 right now roofing. I mean, I'm just a sucker for orange, man. I can't help it. I mean, Brian Provo comes to mind. Great schemes. You see, here goes Jamie Barkus on the outside. Your lucky dog. He's going to go around. And the cars are dwindling. I mean, there's only 13 cars on the lead lap, and 3 of those are on pit road getting damage fixed. So it's only 10 cars. Jamie has got an opportunity to get up here and get this win, man. It's going to be incredible to watch this 15. I mean, he's definitely focused, and hey, he don't have anything to lose anymore. You got to go get it. But he's going to have to go get it from his teammate. Jacob Ellingson, Brian Provo going to be your 1-2, and he's got Alex Cruz there right behind him. Now, we know teammates, and it just depends. Everybody's different, but, man, teammates only last, if you've got a 60-lap race, your teammates for 59 and a half of those laps. So when will Alex Cruz, Cody McElwain pull the trigger? Once you get to the white flag lap, I think every team knows that, hey, yeah, you could be a teammate, but then your team, you can be a teammate and try to push your team to the win and just sit back there and finish second. But, man, we come here to win. So will Cody McElwain, are they going to block for their teammate and let Jacob win this thing? Or are they going to go up there and get the victory? I'd want to be the first one. I mean, you've got some really cool sponsors. You got Alex Cruz with Cruising Classics on that number 5 machine. And you got the number 6 there, Cody McElwain with Goat Locker on. I want my car in victory lane. They do a little podium graphic after each race, and I want my car to be under first. I'm just, it just is what it is, teammate or not. So somebody going to be willing to make that move. Who's going to do it? We've seen Scott Phelps just kind of hanging around. He's in that 79. 79, is he going to get up there and do something? He's been kind of hanging around in these spots. George Jewell been up there mixing it up here towards the end of this race. Will Joe Yates get up there and steal one? He's been kind of hiding around in the back along with his teammate Trevor McManus. So, man, it is going to be an exciting finish, as this is the first of 2 green-white checkers. Now, green-white checkers are really simple. We get 2 attempts. If they go around, they'll get the green flag. They'll come around. They'll take the white flag. If they take the white flag, the race is over no matter what. If they go wrecking everywhere, it's over. If they don't, if a caution comes out before the leader takes the white flag, they'll rack them back up, and we'll do it all over again for one more attempt. Now, if we get to that second attempt and the caution comes out before the white flag, the race is over, and whoever is in the lead at the time of caution will be crowned your winner here at Daytona. So if you're Jacob Ellingson, if you're Brian Provo, if you're any of these guys up front, you want to be out front no matter what. You got to have clean air on that nose if you're going to try to win this thing. Who's going to come from the back? Who's going to jump up 3 wide and make this thing a race? I don't know. If you're sitting in a chair, go get you a seat belt and seat belt yourself into your chair. If you're on the couch, if you're on a recliner, buckle up, because it's going to be crazy. Lights are out on the pace car. He's getting ready to come down pit road, and you see the field dwindling here. Who is going to take home the victory? Is it going to be Ellingson? Is it going to be Provo? What about Cruz or McElwain? What about Phelps? Any of these guys? Green flag is out here in the first green-white checker here at Daytona. Jacob Ellingson gets a nice jump. He's got Alex Cruz right behind him. Provo going to drop down to that bottom line. Goat Locker and Goat Locker affiliates working together. George Jewell out there on the top side with no help. That outside line is dead. George Jewell, nobody. Everybody trying to get the slingshot that they need to make a big run. Who's going to be the first to pull out? George Jewell by himself. Who's going to do it? Provo looking. Here comes the number 7 of Jacob Denson. He's going to be the first to go. It doesn't have any help, though. He's got a good run, though. He's trying to use that side draft. George Jewell, though, not able to keep up with him just yet. It's going to take half a lap. Joe Yates going to jump up to the outside now. The outside starting to gain a little bit of momentum here as more cars going to jump out there. Jacob Ellingson, though, comes down. White flag is out here at Daytona. Who is going to pull out if anybody does? Or is Jacob Ditson going to be able to take the push? Well, here comes Alex Cruz. Alex Cruz going to be the first. He's going to dump his teammate. Jacob Ellingson going to lose a ton of momentum from that. Alex Cruz going to get a big push down the straightaway as Provo now all over the back bumper of the 27 and 7, pushing the 5. Making sure that Goat Locker is going to be out front. It's Goat Locker on the top side. Goat Locker on the bottom. Is anybody going to be able to move? Big push there on the bottom. The 08, the 6, nose to tail to come off the corner. Jacob Ellingson there on the bottom. And coming to the line, Jacob Ellingson. Oh, reckon again. Jacob Ellingson, though, takes the victory as they're just piling up behind him. Jacob Ellingson goes down 2 laps down and fights back and is your winner here tonight. What an incredible, incredible comeback for Jacob Ellingson as he was able to just fight through adversity and come away with the victory. You could see the hand pumps. He's tightening up. He just can't believe it that I mean, just speaking French, I can see the French words coming out of his mouth. Au croissant for sure. Man, what an incredible finish. And Jacob Ellingson able to take the top spot. And he's going to burn it down on the front straightaway. And what a great way to start the Goat Locker Season 7 this week. All 4 series going to start it. And you can see Jacob Ellingson going to burn them down here on the front stretch. Gives a little wave to the fans. He's going to back up, make sure he can get this thing going. And he's going to, there you go. He's going to burn it down. Give the lawn maintenance guys something to think about. Man, what an exciting race. What a great finish. Jacob did everything he could. Alex Cruz with a heck of an attempt there. He's going to come home in 7th. But Jacob just kept his foot to the floor. Brian Provo staying right on his bumper. And they're going to come away with the victory. And we're going to talk to them. I can't wait. I love talking to these drivers. I love hearing what their thoughts are. And we're going to talk to them in just a few minutes. We are going to take a short commercial break. Want to thank our sponsors and want to thank Premier Racing Setups for their sponsor of this channel. And we'll take a little short break, and we'll be right back with post-race coverage here. Well, all right, we're back. We're still waiting on some folks to jump into the waiting room so we can get these interviews. Hopefully, we can talk to Jacob, Brian, and the other Jacob and see what they thought about this race. And we'll try to get those folks in here. We'll talk about the results. I mean, what an incredible race. And I can't wait to hear what these guys thought about it. And they're in here now. But let's go through the results, see where everybody finished. And Jacob Ellingson, Brian Provo, Jacob Ditson, your top 3. Scott Felt's going to come home in the 4th position. Just hung out there all night long. And, hey, he gets rewarded for that and able to dodge all the mess, come home in 4th. Cody McElwain with a top 5. Great finish there. Joe Yates, been in the back all race long, comes towards the front, made a big push, and comes home in 6th. Alex Cruz there made a great move on the outside. Just some contact there at the end. Just not quite able to get that run from the top side that he needed. Comes home in 7th. Chance Taylor up front all race long. What a great run out of him. Yeah, just come up a little bit short there, involved in a couple incidents. Comes home in eighth. Bobby Germain in ninth. And George Jewell, a last minute addition to this field, he's going to get himself a top 10. So great finish for George Jewell. Jamie Barkus, not able to really recover after that. Got back on the lead lap, though. Got an 11th place finish, but obviously going to be disappointed in that finish. But hey, that's plate racing. I know he's going to come back strong next week and be looking out for that 15 machine to make some noise here for this championship. We got Chris Sawyer in 12th place, Trevor McManus in 13th, Matt Knights in 14th, Charlie Harcum in 15th, John Anthony going to come home in 16th, and all these drivers going to be damaged beyond repair and multiple laps down. Mark McCrary had a great run, comes home in 17th, Mickey Isaac in 18th, Doug Ellingson in 19th, and Regis Clark rounds out your top 20. But let's talk to some drivers. I'm going to talk with Jacob Ellingson, of course. I'm going to talk to him first. Jake, this is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Let me turn you up just a little bit. Man, I tell you what a great race. And now we, at the end, obviously, you're really happy. Now, at the first part of the race, you got hit by Doug, and you go and you spin out. You say a couple choice words, and you probably were just feeling like you were out of this thing. And then talk me through your mindset from going 2 laps down. You had to come down pit road, take that fast spray, go down 2 laps. How do you keep yourself in it and continue to fight and to get here to the end of the race?
Well, I knew it was pretty early on when that happened, pretty early on in the race. So it just kind of got to keep your mind calm, and the teammates really helped me out with that, especially Jamie. Constantly reminded me that we still had 40 something laps to go, 50 something laps to go when that happened, and just kind of hunkered down and kept my head in it, and cautions kind of fell my way to get me back on the lead lap. And then I was going to hang out in the back for the rest of that race because I didn't have that fast repair. But I was like, you know what? Let me get up here. Let me mix it up. If it happens, if it happens. If it doesn't, you know, so be it. But it's one of them things where this is kind of surreal because I've never won at a plate track. I've always come in second. So it's a pretty awesome feeling.
Well, you were able to fight back from that. You got the lucky dogs that you needed to get back on the lead lap, and you worked your way to the front. And then you were there pushing your teammate, and then he had that accident where he went headfirst into the wall, hard hit for Jamie, and that kind of crowned you as the goat locker the guy to push to the win. And there at the end, Alex Crude made a really nice jump to the outside on that green, white, and checkered. But the run kind of fell apart. And just talk me through that last lap, what you were trying to do, and what your thoughts were as you were coming down to the last lap there.
I was just hoping one of the teammates was going to push me to the win. And when I seen Alex jump out, I was like, oh, well, let's have a little, friendly teammate race to the win, which I wouldn't expect anything less from my teammates, man. Best guys on the planet, I swear to God. But Provo came up, gave me a really nice shot on the backstretch to get my momentum going again. And then he just damn near blew that thing up, pushing me across the start finish.
Well, man, you were able to get there. You saw the fist pumps. I mean, exciting to be the first winner in season 7, and what a great way to do it. So, man, congratulations as always. Who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout outs?
I definitely got to thank Jam Printing Promotions, Premier Racing Setups, Podium Esports, Veterans for Life, uh, Cruising Classics, Redbeard Design, V Speed. Thank you for broadcasting the Shindig. I mean, you do an amazing job. Great broadcast. Always love watching it. The Nazareth 360, and then I definitely gotta give a big shout out to Right Now Roofing for sponsoring the series and making this all happen for us. It's great to have them on board for the Xfinity series. A couple personal uh, people I got to thank. Definitely got to thank my beautiful daughter for allowing me to have the time to do this iRacing thing. It really brings a lot of joy to myself, and she loves watching it and having a good time.
Well, all righty. Well, there you are. Congratulations, Jake Ellingson, for your winner here tonight. And good way to start the season, Jake.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Jacob Ellingson, let's bring in your second place finisher, Brian Provo. Eddie in the booth. You got a copy, brother?
Hey, Eddie, how's it going? Good
Man,
copy.
going great, man. And you had a fantastic race. You were up there battling all night long. You had some trouble here and there, but man, you were able to be there right at the end with a big push. I don't think I've met you before. If I have, I'm sorry, but it seemed like you were one of the best out there at pushing. I think if I'm out there, I'm looking for Brian Provo, because that son of a gun could push. And you were doing it all night long, and there at the end got to show your talents and push the 27 to the victory. Man, talk about your race tonight. What was it like out there, and maybe what could you have done different, maybe to try to get that win?
Oh man, so yeah, coming out of that, that last caution there, Jake and I were side by side. We came up with the plan, get down low, try to push them forward, see what that outside line's going to do, and like kind of what you said, like I was just, I was on it tonight, been able to push my teammates up there, so I took that advantage and played a good teammate tonight, pushed them up. Jake ran a great race, so did Jamie, so did all the other guys tonight, and it was really fun being able to push those guys up there. I mean, to get away with that win, I think would have probably hanged my teammate out to dry, but I probably wouldn't have done that. But it would have been a little bit more spicier, and I think playing a little safe, pushing them forward, just getting that good 1, 2, 3 spot was good.
Well, you absolutely did it, man. Congratulations. Be somebody to watch for the rest of the season. Who you got to thank here tonight?
Yeah, so I want to thank all our sponsors here tonight. Custom Setups by Premier Racing, broadcasting by Podium Esports, Veterans for Life Foundation, big one tonight, Right Now Roofing, big supporter for tonight for this race, the Cruising Classics out of Columbus, Red Beer Design Company, and then V-Speed Racing Network, of course, and then NASA 360. It's been great. Like it was a great race, fun tonight. Can't wait to do it again rest this week.
All right, well, there you have it. Second place, Brian Provo, as he pushes Jacob Ellingson to the win. And man, I tell you what, like I said, I would like to have him pushing me. He seems to be a pretty dang good pusher. But who came home in third? Number 7, Jacob Denson. Is Eddie in the booth? You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you loud and clear.
Well, man, you were kind of hanging around back there. You started in 10th and kind of just hung around. And after all those incidents, are able to get up through the field and be there towards the end. What did you need there at the end to maybe try to get the win?
Probably a lot of luck. I think that was mostly what got me up there to the front. Just happened to line up there at the end. Caught some cautions at the right time. Got through some good. I don't want to say good wrecks, but got through some wrecks. And just ended up in the right spot at the right time. So I would take a lot of luck in that finish.
All right. Well, man, I ain't going to keep you too long. We're going to try to get out of here, man. We definitely appreciate you coming in and talking to us. Congratulations on your third place finish. And, man, we want to give the floor to you. Who do you got to thank? Any sponsors, shout-outs?
Definitely want to shout out some of the sponsors for the league. Right Now Roofing, they're putting on this league. Good job on their part. We just started with them, hoping it's going to be a good, fun season. It's looking like it's shaping up to be. I want to thank Veterans for Life Foundation, Custom Setups, definitely. But also want to thank Little Miami Brewing, B&H Racing, Phelps Media. They got them on the side of the car, so definitely want to give them a shout-out.
All righty. Well, there you have it. Third place finisher, Jacob Denson, as he comes home just a little bit too short of the win. But, man, the top 3 is a great way to start the season. Well, all right. Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight, man. Thank y'all so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed the broadcast as much as I had doing it. Want to thank Right Now Roofing for being the sponsor here tonight. Also want to thank Jam Printing and Promotions and Veterans for Life Foundation for their sponsorship of Goat Locker Racing. This is the Goat Locker Xfinity Series presented by Right Now Roofing. Want to thank everybody for watching. Congratulations again to Jacob Ellingson. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all have a good night.